Hey everyone, welcome to How to Use Phrasal Verbs Naturally. Today we're diving into a super important and sometimes tricky part of English, phrasal verbs.
Indeed, they are absolutely essential for sounding more natural, aren't they? Many learners find them a bit daunting at first, but we're here to help you get comfortable using them in everyday conversation.
So before we jump into specific examples, let's quickly unpack what phrasal verbs actually are. Essentially, they're combinations of a verb and another word or two, usually a preposition or an adverb.
Exactly. Think of a simple verb like run. It has a straightforward meaning, but when you add a particle, such as in run into or run out of, the meaning often changes completely and sometimes quite dramatically.
Right, and that's where the trickiness comes in for learners. Many phrasal verbs are idiomatic, meaning their overall sense can't simply be guessed by knowing the individual words. It's like a new vocabulary item you have to learn.
Precisely. For instance, look means to direct your eyes, but look up can mean to search for information or even to visit someone. The context is crucial, and the combined meaning is often quite different from the standalone verb.
Okay, fantastic. So let's dive into our first phrasal verb today, which is get over. This one's super common and has a couple of really useful meanings that intermediate learners definitely need to know.
Indeed, one of the most frequent uses of get over is to mean recovering from an illness or a physical complaint. For example, if you've been unwell, someone might say, "I hope you get over your cold soon." Or perhaps, "It took him a week to get over that nasty stomach bug." It simply means to recover.
Exactly. So if you're feeling a bit under the weather, you're hoping to get over it quickly. But it's not just about physical health. Get over also means to overcome a difficulty, especially an emotional one, like a shock, a disappointment, or even a breakup.
That's right. So you might hear someone say, "She's finding it hard to get over her disappointment after not getting the job," or "It took him a long time to get over the loss of his pet." It implies moving past a difficult emotional experience.
Or even overcoming a challenge, like he finally got over his fear of flying after years. It's about moving past something tough, whether it's a cold, a heartbreak, or fear. It's incredibly versatile. All right, now that we've got get over down, let's dive into another incredibly useful one, which is look up. This one has a couple of distinct meanings that are really important for intermediate learners.
Indeed, the most common use of look up is to find information, typically in a reference book, dictionary, or online. For instance, if you encounter a new word, you would look it up in a dictionary.
Exactly. So you might say, I need to look up the meaning of ubiquitous, or can you look up the train times for me online? It's all about searching for specific pieces of information. It's super practical.
Quite so. Then there's the less common but still very relevant meaning of visiting someone, often someone you haven't seen in a while when you're in their area. For example, when I'm in London next month, I'll definitely look you up.
Oh, I love that one. It has such a friendly feel. It's like, hey, I'm passing through, let's reconnect. Another example could be, after all these years, I hope to look up my old college roommate. It's not just finding them, but specifically making an effort to visit and connect. It's a lovely sentiment. All right, next up we have a really common one, especially in British English, but definitely used everywhere, is carry on.
Ah, carry on. Yes, it's quite straightforward, isn't it? It simply means to continue doing something or to persist with an activity or task.
Exactly. It's so useful in everyday conversation. Like if you're interrupted while you're telling a story, someone might say, "Please, carry on. I want to hear the rest." It means continue telling your story.
Precisely. Or perhaps you're working on something and your colleague leaves the room saying, "I'll be back in a moment, just carry on with what you're doing." It's a very polite way to say, "Don't stop, just continue."
And it doesn't just have to be about talking or working. Imagine you're doing an exercise and your instructor says, "You're doing great. Keep carrying on until the buzzer." It's all about continuing something that's already in progress. It's got such a positive vibe sometimes, like, don't give up, just carry on.
Indeed. It's often used as encouragement to persevere. So if you're ever in doubt about how to say continue in a casual, natural way, carry on is an excellent choice.
So, how are you doing today? You seemed a bit under the weather when we last chatted.
I'm much better, thanks for asking. I think I finally managed to get over that lingering cold. It really knocked me out for a few days.
Oh, that's such a relief to hear. It's no fun being sick, especially when you have so much going on.
Speaking of things going on, I was trying to remember that new art gallery we discussed last week. I can't recall its exact location.
Oh, the Urban Canvas Gallery? Yes, I actually had to look it up online just this morning because a friend was asking for recommendations. It's on Elm Street, right near the old bookshop.
Fantastic. I'll definitely look that up myself tonight to check their opening hours. It sounds like a great place to visit this weekend.
It does. And on that note, we've still got a fair bit of planning to do for our next podcast episode, don't we?
We certainly do. I think we should probably just carry on with our brainstorming session for the new segment. We've made some excellent progress already.
Agreed. Let's keep that momentum going.
All right, so we've looked at some common phrasal verbs today, but how do our listeners really master them and start using them confidently in their own English?
That's an excellent point. For intermediate learners, I'd suggest starting by learning phrasal verbs in context. Don't just memorize a list. When you encounter a new one, try to understand it within the sentence or situation it's used. This makes it far more memorable.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to create your own example sentences. The more you personalize them, relating them to your own life or experiences, the stronger the connection will be. You could even keep a dedicated notebook for phrasal verbs you're learning.
Precisely. And regular review is key. Come back to them every few days. Also, try to actively use them in your speaking or writing. Even if you start small, perhaps just one new phrasal verb a day, it builds up quickly. Don't worry about making mistakes. That's part of the learning process.
That's it. Practice makes progress. The more you hear them, see them, and use them, the more natural they'll become. Consistency is far more important than intensity when it comes to language learning. You've got this. Well, we've covered some fantastic phrasal verbs today. We talked about get over, meaning to recover from something, look up for finding information or visiting someone, and of course, carry on for continuing an activity.
Indeed. And the key, as always, is practice. Try to incorporate these into your daily conversations, write them down, and create your own example sentences. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn and improve. Just keep carrying on with your English journey, and you'll see amazing progress.
Thank you so much for joining us today on how to use phrasal verbs naturally. Keep up the brilliant work with your English.
We can't wait to have you back for more. Keep practicing, everyone.